Welcome back. Welcome back. We're here with a local band. This is Balcony Bridge. Say hi, everyone.
Hello.
Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'm Julian. Hi. Hi. What's your favorite color? My name's Buddy the Elf.
Nice. My name's Sean. Hello.
All right. And then what roles do you guys play within the band?
I play lead guitar.
I play the clown or the singer.
I was just telling these guys that feed was live from their show about 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
At the
something like
Theater?
that. Yeah.
Really, really great show. Great turnout. A ton of people were there.
Yeah, it was
Everyone on that
crazy.
show killed it.
It was like a dream come true. That thing was like unreal. Like I've never seen so many like people just like in one space at any moment in time. That was crazy.
Would you say that's your guys' like kind of biggest show to date so far?
Definitely, for
Nice.
sure. Like no question.
Yeah.
That was unreal.
Have you guys like toured at all, or kind of just kept it mainly in Seattle?
No, we've just been in Seattle for like what? How long has this band been going? Like a year and a
some
half.
change, a couple months.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And you guys are all like local from the area?
No.
Yes, someone's no.
No, we're actually all. What's funny is like we all met kind of in the same area. We're Fremont based, and if you know like the whole thing with Fremont, it's like the center of the universe.
Oh yeah, totally.
So we
That's what
like
I
to
think.
tell the story that we met in the center of the universe. You know what I mean?
Like high school friends or just guys jamming and you met up each other somewhere?
Yeah. So, well, it's kind of a funny story. I was doing the van life for a while, like for a year, back in like, I don't know, 2 years ago now, 2021. And I drove, and I don't know, I was driving around Seattle with this guy, Dan, I met at a Guitar Center. And he introduced me to this guy, Patrick. And long story short, I run into Sean. And then from there, we just went to a couple open mics. And then we discovered this guy, Will, who in turn had us meet this guy, Jack, who turned out to be our drummer. And then from that day on, we just started playing like anywhere we could. We didn't really have a practice space, so we just played outside. And after that, we went back to this guy named Will's like place, and we met Jacob, our bass player, and it kind of like turned into this whole thing like, oh, you play bass? Oh, well, let's just see what happens. And then it turned into, you know, what, a year and a half later, and where we played the Neptune, and it was just like, I don't know, it's crazy just how things turn out. You know, you never can tell like how things are gonna, you know, where you're gonna head, I guess.
So what would you guys say is like your like defining genre? Like what kind of sound are you trying to capture with your music?
I'll let Sean answer
no.
this.
For a while, I was saying that we are all rock. So so we just incorporate almost every genre of rock. It's mostly just stuff we grew up listening to in our generation, from dad rock to 90s, early 2000s stuff. There's a little bit of pop in there too.
Yeah, I kind of got that from that. It's kind of like easy going,
Mm-hmm.
not too hard, but like very catchy and very kind of soulful with the lyrics and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like the fun, good time, you know?
Oh, that's definitely the vibe I got. Everyone was definitely having a good time with the Neptune. So do you guys like try to tell a story with your songs, like album by album or song by song, or just try to catch a vibe mainly?
I don't know. Sometimes it depends on the song. Like sometimes it'll be like a song that's literally like about a thing, like a person or like an experience. And then other times it's like, it's literally just, I don't know, like it's, it kind of just turns into this amalgamation of sound and we don't really know what it is. And we're just like, let's just call that like weird jam, like number 3 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then we come back to it, and eventually you have a song like Neptune or like The Experience, where it's like this 10-minute long song about like nobody really knows what, and the lyrics kind of always change because I'm really bad at remembering what I sang. So I don't know. It's like I feel like what we try to capture is the moment as it currently lives, and it's kind of hard to describe our music outside of that, you know.
It's kind of like more your own personal experiences and kind of how you perceive
Yeah.
the world around you.
Yeah, because it's like we're all 4 individuals doing this thing on stage, and it's kind of hard to say like it's more this than or more that. Like it's kind of just just a collection, a salad, if you will, of
A
sounds.
salad of sounds and experience.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I mean that's a great like tagline. You guys should really like market yourselves. That
We are the salad of all bands.
Dude, I love that. We'll have a T-shirt.
So like, who would you say are like your major like influences? Like, who do you guys listen to a lot that you kind of feel like impart on your style mainly? Like,
Do you want to go first or?
Yeah, sure. So I had. Okay, so an artist that kind of changed things for me was Gary Clark Jr.
okay.
I just dropped out of college and I was living with my parents and just like in that weird place of trying to figure out who I'm gonna be. And I listened to his first live album and I listened to it over and over and it just resonated with me on so many different levels. I related to the way he played. I was understanding how he was speaking through his guitar and what he was saying. I remember I actually cried listening to one of the solos in my car. And it just changed so much for me. It really like invigorated my drive to know that I just want to play music for the rest of my life. And, so Gary Clark Jr. just kind of set me on my path with his first live album. I had never understood that phrase, "Oh, that record changed my life." You hear a lot of people talk like that sometimes. And once that had happened, I understood completely what people mean when they hear that record and it just impacts you on such a multi-layered way that, you're just changed forever. So Gary Clark Jr. I met him once, actually. Yeah, I met him at a bar. Yeah.
Just around town?
I was catching a show at this place in Austin called Hotel Vegas, and I was hanging out in the back and just kind of chilling, and then I look to my left, and in the far corner, I see Gary just Gary,
chilling.
my boy Gary. I see him just chilling in the corner. I just beelined it to him, and I was like, "What's up?" And I sat down and I was talking to him, and I just I didn't geek out super hard, but I did tell him that he changed everything for me. And he just looked at me and said, "You're doing it." I was like, "I'm trying." He goes, "No, you're doing it, man." And yeah, I don't know, like 5 years later,
Nice.
grateful to have met this guy, and we're fucking doing it,
Hello.
And then what about you, man? What would you say your major influences would be?
That's a crazy question. I don't know. I feel like a lot of like what I do, I guess vocally, super inspired by like people like Janis Joplin. Even though like a lot of the people I like are dead or like not living right now, but Janis Joplin, the song called "Summertime," she did this live version in like the 60s of that song, and that blew my mind. She did that whole like kind of like that loud, high-pitched screaming sound. And from that moment on, I was like, I fell in love with that sound. But like other singers, like Frank Sinatra, obviously. I don't know. There's something so like, enveloping about that dude's voice, and I feel like, I try to recreate it a little bit, but it's not. I can't be Frank. I'm Julian. I'm not the the greatest of all the jazz crooners. I'm just me, and I guess those are like the two big influences for me. And then I guess maybe like bands. I don't know. I really like, I guess for what I've been like listening to as of recently, I kind of been listening to the Stones, that album that Miss You is on. I don't know what that one's called, Talking Heads. And then one other song, somebody turned me on to that album Doolittle by the Pixies. And that's a hell of an album. I don't know. I've been listening to like a fuck ton of like records just because I work at a coffee shop. So there's like so much time or free time on your hands to just listen to things. So I go through like kind of just all of like the reigns of all the different genres. So it's kind of hard to pinpoint what really would influence me,
Interesting. So we got sound from like the late 90s, early 2000s, but inspired by kind of 70s, 60s era music. Very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
So before you guys kind of came together, you were living the van life. You were in college. So how did you guys like have a plan before you met? Like what do you guys have any idea what life would have looked like without music or without a band or anything like that? Like what were you angling for before you met?
So we met right at the end of summer 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of when life was slowly coming back after the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I don't know, for me, I was very much a zombie in a lot of different ways. Just felt like, because I had moved here in the beginning of 2020 from Austin with the hopes of being in a new city, a new music town, and continuing my pursuit for music. And the first couple months, everything was going really great. And then, obviously, with the pandemic, everything was kind of shut down, and my dreams died.
Oh, you moved here right before the shutdown?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I was here for about 2
no.
months. Yeah, it was
Fuck.
tough. But that summer, things started to kind of slowly come back. And then that's when I had met Julian, and then we started to get on, and we were playing music together. And then that's when we met Jack. And I feel like now, okay, my Seattle life is really starting to be what I had hoped it would be, where I'd be playing music with people I care about and having a blast doing it. And it's kind of crazy to see where we've come since then. Literally playing in a park with these
Like,
little lunchbox amps, dude. And then we were fortunate enough to play the Neptune Theater, and we have more cool shows on the way. So, I had no idea, like, moving out here, what my music future or life would look like, but I'm very happy with it.
Nice.
You know, yeah, it's definitely been one of the most special things that's come into my life is meeting these guys.
And then kind of like, I guess, describe that meeting, like, you both kind of were looking for something but didn't really know what each other were looking for. So what did that meeting look like?
Do you want to know like the literal meeting? Because me and Patrick were walking at the Fremont Sunday Market, and we were like, we had made a band we called it the Day Old Band because we just were gonna play a show for that day at a local open mic, and we were like, we need a drummer, and we're like, hey, so my friend Patrick comes out and he's like, does anybody here play drums? And then this guy fucking comes up and like, I do. And then turns out he doesn't play drums, or at least he doesn't.
Like, not at all.
No, he does, but he plays a lot better guitar. So
Okay.
Yeah, let's roll with that.
Like, I play drums adjacent. Like,
yeah.
I need friends, and
Exactly.
I kind of play drums, so yes, that's me.
Yeah. It was a good meeting. It's very wholesome. We always tell everybody, like, yeah, we met at a farmer's market. That's where you meet all the, musicians that rule the
Pacific
world,
Northwest.
Yeah.
Very, very of the area.
Yeah, exactly.
And, that's cool because, like, you did come up here to, like, for the music scene, which is interesting because, like, I feel like our music scene's kind of stagnated a little bit. Like, if you ask the layman, like, if you think of Seattle music, what do you think of? It's grunge or,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe Sir Mix-a-Lot.
I don't know.
I didn't even know that.
Hey, he's from here.
Oh, crazy!
Yeah, or
I just
Jimi
found out
Hendrix.
Modest Mouse was from here, which
Oh, I
might
just
not be a
found that
good
out
thing.
too.
Yeah, and
Damn.
yeah.
We don't really have like a lot of we don't really have a big like
Macklemore?
Macklemore, yeah. We do have a bit of a rap scene, but that's mainly Tacoma.
Yeah.
And there's people here trying to make it big here as well, but it's just like, I don't know, rap is just so big in LA and in New York and Atlanta.
Yeah.
Seattle doesn't really kind of have an identity anymore, which is kind of like what the point of all this is just trying to get the word out of, indie bands that are trying to, find their sound here and make a home here.
Yeah, I think the Seattle local scene is definitely alive, and there's a lot of people out there doing it, especially after such a long hiatus with COVID. I think that's definitely true, but from what I've seen, there's a lot of people out there who are out there postering like Julian and myself, or out there just trying to, bring people to experience a cool show and put their friends' bands on. That's something that I've really started to enjoy, is putting bills together, because you just want people to see this band that you like, or your friend's band. So, and you want to give your friend's band a chance to play in front of a cool crowd in a cool space. So yeah, I think, I don't know, when it comes to the Seattle music scene, I definitely have my gripes and my criticisms here and there.
Like, do you want to get into that, or?
I totally can,
Okay,
yeah.
let's do it.
Fuck everyone.
Let's throw some shade.
No.
Let's burn some bridges. Let's go.
Now entering shade hour. Yeah, I think what's tricky is the traditional sense of how you experience music is in a venue or a bar space. And what sucks about that is, at the end of the day, venues, bars, they're a business, and they need to meet their bottom line. They need to make money, and they have a certain formula for them to do that. And I think as a result of that, what you have is commercial places like venues, they just have a stage and they say, hey, you can come here and do your thing, because in our society, like, this is the boundary that's placed for you to be able to do your thing. at a bar or a venue inside somewhere, loud noise, all that stuff. So for them, they just need you to come do your thing at their place and bring people there so they spend money at the bar, because that's where they're going to make all their money.
Yeah.
And for them, I think they think it's like, hey, we're just giving you a chance to do your thing. We have this space, but please bring people here so that we can make some money.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that I've always struggled with growing up since I was like 20 years old, starting to get into the music scene in Austin, was how tight it is to bars and venues.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, bars are cool, they're fun, and they offer an intimate experience for live music. But at the same time, all the drinking and all the drugs and how it's so married to, especially something like rock and roll, where like the music is more visceral and adrenaline driven. I don't know. I think we have found a way where we can play our music for people and it can be outside of those spaces.
Wholesome.
And a little bit more wholesome and a little bit more open to people who wouldn't otherwise have a chance to experience live music unless they were part of the bar scene or music showgoers.
You want it to be like more open, just not so much about the money, but just kind of like, hey, we're setting up a stage out in the middle of a park, people are going to play, drop by if you'd like.
Exactly. And like doing the pop-up shows in the park has been like one of the most magical things I think that I've ever discovered in music, where we can just go to the park and play to the earth, to like our music is just out in the world,
in the universe.
I'll look up and I'm staring at the fucking moon, and I'm like, this is beautiful, this is amazing.
Yeah,
and then
insane.
And you get to share it with people who wouldn't have had a chance to see or listen to live music maybe that day, unless, like I'm saying, they were actively seeking that out in a traditional space. So I think the bar scene also just sets certain restrictions and boundaries on a lot of different people who basically don't get to experience your music unless they fall into a certain category. And I think that's probably my biggest gripe, is just the walls that scene kind of puts up.
Yeah, and I see what they mean. Like, they gotta make money. Their business. To, like,
right?
Do they like try to take advantage at all? Like, because I know they probably take a cut of the gate of like the ticket sale. Like, do you guys get a cut of any of that, or do they just take?
Well, so it's different in different places. Some are like 100% of the door goes to bands, which is great. I think that's how it should be. Some are a little different, and they're like, no, we're gonna take 40% of the door, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So that's not super cool. And some places are even worse. I haven't experienced this in Seattle, but I've heard that some places try to get a cut of your merch, which is even more like filthy,
Like,
filthy,
the door
like
makes
bad.
sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's their venue. Like, I guess like a percentage of the door is expected, but the merch?
Yeah.
How do they
it's
even
fucked up.
like people mainly pay? Do they just have a guy like come over there and like, all right,
Yeah,
fork
they
over-
like pay up.
Really? So what? 20% of whatever's in the box, give it over.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking.
Wow.
Damn.
What do you call those?
Like grifters?
Crony? No, grifter. Yeah.
Just like
Gangsters.
yeah.
They-
Bouncer comes
There's a
by.
guy with a bat, and he's like, "How many T-shirts did you sell tonight?"
Yeah, because how the hell are they gonna
God.
verify that? Like, you don't.
Mhm.
I mean, you guys are probably keeping a fucking Excel spreadsheet of all your
No.
sales.
We did that for a little bit, but
Oh,
it was a
okay.
lot.
As you can see on my Google Docs, like, we
Yeah.
sold 15 T-shirts.
Mhm.
What the hell? All right, well, but yeah, that makes it make a lot more sense. Like, you guys don't want to play to a specific audience. You want to just kind of be out there for all to kind of experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I think anybody would want as diverse of a crowd, as you could have, instead of playing to like one specific audience. But really, I think the point I'm just trying to drive home there is that, venues and bars, and because they're regulated businesses, because they sell alcohol, they just have restrictions on who can be there. And then just because they are, a bar or venue, there's certain people who just aren't going to go to those things, whether or not they're allowed to or not. Like, that's just not something that they're after. So I think for us, like, we're really driven to, especially coming out of a pandemic, is to find a way where there's less boundaries for people to experience live music, because to me, it's just such a foundational experience for being human. I think it's something that we need, and it nourishes our souls. And without it, it's easier to fall into a dark space, but music can bring you out of those tougher times. And if I can get a little sappy here, I think that's what happened when we all met each other. It was after the pandemic, and we were all like zombies in our own way and in a dark place. And we kind of pulled each other out of that by playing in the park.
We saved each other.
We saved each other, man. I don't care. I'll be sappy about it. We did.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. So like you guys said, you have some shows coming up. Like what's next for you guys?
Yeah, we're doing a show at Barboza. Have you ever been to Numos?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like the basement of Numos.
Nice.
Yeah, we're doing like I think we're mid on the bill, so we're like second. We're playing with this band Oh My Eyes, and what's the other band?
Sweet Peace.
Sweet Peace.
Okay, what day is this?
That's February 17th.
February 17th.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have the good vibes. You know what I mean? We're just gonna put on a good show and have some good moments. I think it's gonna put everybody in a good mood at least.
Yeah.
That's
Everyone's
the
in a really good mood at
goal.
Neptune.
What?
Everyone seemed in a really great mood at Neptune, man.
Yeah,
Everyone's going nuts.
I love when I don't know, I'm a big fan of when people come to see us, I want them to be a part of the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm not so invested in oh, I gotta play every note amazingly perfect and I gotta be the best I can ever be. I'm more invested in that person over there is wooing whenever we say woo, or that person over there, let's get them clapping and stuff. I want them to feel like they've experienced something bigger than the band or the music can actually be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's what our whole goal as a band or a unit or whatever you want to call it is to give people a good time and almost like an escape from their day or some shitty thing, somebody driving down the road and flipping them off, try to get them to forget about that and then just remember the reality that this world is so beautiful and there's so many beautiful things within it to experience. And I feel like that's our huge message as a force of nature, is to just get people to loosen up and just enjoy life,
Nice.
Yeah.
So is this kind of part of a tour? You guys just kind of taking individual bookings at the moment, or?
Yeah, we're not. I really want to tour. We're talking about it. It's in everyone's brain, and we're because after doing the Neptune, it's every other venue. It's we gotta do a thing outside of I love Seattle and I love being a local band, but I feel our time is coming to step up the energy and go out and really make it happen. As to when that'll happen, I'm not really sure, but I really have faith in in this band and these guys and everybody who supports us as a group. I really have faith that we can do it, make it happen.
Do you guys have any dream venues or destinations in mind? Where you guys want to go?
Yeah, let's play Madison Square Garden, Royal Albert Hall.
Yeah.
The moon!
The fucking moon! Dude, he's dreaming bigger.
That's why I said in the last show, I asked this question, where do you guys want to play? And they're I don't know, there's this bar in Jersey back at my home. Really? Madison Square Garden? They're yeah, obviously, but...
We're going to play the moon, and then after the moon, we're going to play Mars, and then after Mars, we're going to play Jupiter.
Nice.
No, that's...
I'm down. Let's do it. I don't care.
No, we're playing Neptune after Jupiter, of course.
And then we're going to go to Andromeda.
I'm so down.
Our neighbor galaxy.
Let's go to all of ER 253, that planet out there that just got discovered. No, I don't know.
Oh no, I heard they have a lot of methane on that planet.
Just a little bit of methane,
A little methane never hurt nobody.
Yeah, no, come on, just a little smidge.
Smidge.
Yeah, come on. It's a part of the culture, Yeah. You gotta adopt it somehow. I don't know.
Are you guys working on anything new, coming out with an album or a new EP or single or anything like that?
We are currently in the process of recording a 4-song EP type thing. It's gonna be a lot different than what we've been putting out, which is live performances. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be actually produced and and mastered and all those things to be put out on platforms. That way people can enjoy songs the way that we want them to be enjoyed. I guess that everybody else enjoys them Not to say that we're hopping on the bandwagon of all these streaming services, but I feel like we should, like, this is kind of a service to everybody who's stuck by us through everything, you know?
Mhm.
So, but yeah, there's 4 songs that are going to be released pretty soon. One of them is a song that we played, I think, at this show at the Neptune, but it's a friend of mine, so I have to kind of figure out the whole, like, how to do it right with the release process, try to give all the proceeds to my friend, because it's like a song that was written about, you know, it was written by his brother who had passed, and he's kind of the force that really brought me up here, because after my friend passed, I was like I kind of lost a lot of hope in like life and shit, and then that's when I kind of did the van life. That's what kind of forced me to kind of get out of my comfort zone, and then thank God I feel like it, and you know that decision to leave really like kind of, I don't know, opened up this whole world of Balcony Bridge, and just, I don't know, I think we're gonna do these 4 songs like super justice, and I'm really excited to see how they're received, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry to have
No.
these like long ass answers. It's fucking
That's perfect. Like, by all means.
cool.
So what would you guys say has like been your biggest accomplishment so far? Like, what are you guys most proud of from start till today?
I think we've gone through a lot of shit. We've gone through so much
Still going through
shit.
shit.
Like, you know, like our friendships have been tested, and we've gone through just weird things. You know,
Fucking
there's
crazy.
definitely been moments where like we could have walked away from each other and been like, "Fuck you, see you later." And I think that is one of the things that I really hold dear, is all of the shit we've been through. Like, we're in a better place with each other, and we have more confidence in each other as a group and as friends. And yeah, I think that's something that I really, really appreciate, that, you know, none of us gave up on each other.
Yeah. And you know, I don't expect that we're ever going to. I think we're we're in this. We're all in this together, and you know, as much shit as we've gone through, there's going to be tests and challenges to come, but it's like I think we're all focused on like what needs to be done, and I don't know, I'm really excited for, you know, this, I guess, next leg of the journey, trying to tour and all that other stuff. We're trying to take over the world, you know what I mean?
We are trying to get into this festival that's in Brighton, which is just south of London. I remember a few months ago I was just trying to find festivals that had open submission, and I found this one, and I was like, dude, please, if we can get over there, like, we'll have so much fun. And you know, maybe that'll open more opportunities for us to play over there around the festival. So maybe we could hit like fucking Spain, or, you know, we'll go to Ireland, and then we'll come through there. So we have our fingers crossed on that one.
Nice, a whole ass European tour right off the bat.
Let's fucking go.
Lovely.
Yeah, I'm about it.
I want to play in the middle of the Mediterranean Ocean or sea, whatever.
Just on one of those like lashed together boats with like some barrels and planks of wood.
Yeah, and then like everybody would be like swimming, so that way they're forced to move to the show.
They have no choice.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so everyone's like
Dance or
dancing,
drown.
wading in the water. Dance or drown.
You
That's
must
dark,
enjoy the
I'm sorry.
music
No,
under
I think it's
penalty of
funny.
death.
Wait, what?
You must enjoy the music under penalty of death.
Exactly. Yes, that is the law.
If you aren't headbanging, you don't get a floaty.
We don't do headbanging music.
We have pool floaties, but only if you do the jive.
Yes.
There you go.
You got to do the spanky monkey, or I am not playing this song.
You gotta hit the stanky leg to get some arm floaties.
Stanky leg, I like that.
So, all right. So, if you guys are putting together a tour, and you could ask anyone to tour with you, who would be like your dream like tour mates? Like, who would you want to play with?
Waxer.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Waxer would be fun. What's that? Well, I guess, are we talking like huge acts? Like,
Be anyone you want.
fuck. Well, you go first. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Gary Clark Jr. Man.
Still touring?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, he's still touring. He's yeah. I mean, that guy's my hero. It'd be awesome to like share the stage with him and play some guitar. But yeah, I think we'd fit a good vibe too.
Yeah. Let me think. Yeah, I'm sticking with Waxer. I love them.
Yeah, they're cool guys.
Listen to Waxer if anybody's watching this. They're better.
They're better.
They're better than us.
They're pretty good, and they get everyone dancing too.
Nice.
fun.
Are they local as well, or?
Yeah, Quinn's the singer. I used to work at a pastry shop, so we used to talk about being in a band called the Muffin Men, because we made muffins and stuff. But it never got off the ground, so oh well.
Well, you
But
never
yeah,
know.
I have his tape. He's amazing. Go listen to Waxer.
All right. Any kind of shout outs or any kind of things you guys wanna pitch before we go?
We'd love to shout out Jack Moran and Jacob Longhurst, who are not here right now,
And Radio.
and Radio, our producer.
We love you, Radio.
We love all of you guys.
Who else? I love you, Mom. I don't know.
Mama Julian.
I also
Thank
love
you.
Mama Julian.
Mama Julia, what the fuck?
We love you, Miss Julian.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Academy for giving me what's that called? What's that place called? Dick's. I really like Dick's. That- you know, after a long show, you know, you just got to get a bag of dicks. You know what I mean?
That is a very regional joke.
Yeah, I feel like nobody will get that.
My friends in California are gonna not know what the fuck you're talking about.
That's what it's all about, man. You know, no. Dick's is a burger restaurant. They are very good. They are Seattle local, and we love them.
I've heard it's the In-N-Out of the Northwest.
Yeah, it
Agree with
is.
that?
I would agree. I had In-N-Out. I used to live off of In-N-Out all the time. So I feel like, but in my opinion,
Really?
Dick's is better.
Interesting.
It's the sauce.
It is. The burgers are very sweet too.
Yeah, which is strange because you wouldn't think about that for a burger.
It's tough to compare. They both hit different spots.
Yeah, that's true.
What about you? What do you sit on the Dick's versus In-N-Out debate?
Oh, probably Dick's all the way.
Such locals.
Yeah, dude.
Dick's all the way, man.
Yeah,
Wait, no,
all
tell
day.
them about the bag.
What bag?
The bag.
What bag?
The bag of dicks.
The
The bag of Dick's. You
Tell
saw when we
them-
first hung out?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, so one of the first times Joey and I hung out, we jumped in his van and he was taking me home, and we went to Dick's, and I was like, dude, what's so great about this place is you can just get so many things. So it's like you just keep pulling something out of the bag, you know? It's like Christmas. You pull one little sandwich out and you eat it, and then you can pull out another one. There's another thing to eat, and you can just, you know,
It's a
keep
magical
eating.
experience.
Yeah.
Dick's. All right, I'm sorry. I'm having too much fun.
Oh, this is the perfect
Cool.
place to have too much fun at.
Okay, cool. How long have you been podcasting for?
Not very long. You guys are episode number 2.
Oh shit.
That's a cool number. I like that number.
Yeah.
That was my soccer number when I was a kid.
Nice.
Nice.
What position?
I don't know. I was just running around.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I would sit
They
down.
didn't organize it all that much. You just kicked the ball in the net.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
No, I never got that close, actually.
So run around.
Yeah, I would just pretty much run around.
Kick ball
You
optional.
know? Yeah.
Yes.
Got it. Alrighty, guys. I mean, this has been a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys coming in. I know we kind of ran into a couple of stumbles, but I'm glad you guys finally came in, and I hope to see you guys again soon.
Yeah, next time with like the whole band.
Yeah, of course.
That'd be cool.
Anytime, just let me know when you guys are all available. Come back on down. Come out. Whoever's listening to this, come out and see him. It's the 7th, February 7th.
Yeah.
Nemos?
17th.
The
17th.
17th.
Yeah.
February 17th.
February 17th at Nemos, the basement.
Yeah.
No,
at
Barboza.
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 Yeah.
Barboza, February 17th. Be there, or, be
Be
fucking lame.
rectangle.
Yeah, be not a good shape.
Yeah, lame. Yeah.
Don't vibe, I guess.
Don't vibe, yes.
All right, but I appreciate you guys. We'll go ahead and sign off. I thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
You called me up after the fight. How could I have been so dumb to fall